In both films, the two actresses show Lady Macbeth's tormented conscience through gestures to depict fear of blood, which is associated with the murder of innocent King Duncan. Throughout the films, the actresses rub their hands as if washing away the guilty consciousness of Lady Macbeth, along with the dirty blood they see in their dreams. In the first film, Lady Macbeth's hand-washing movements seem like how we normally wash our hands, so this indicates Lady Macbeth's abnormality that she washes her hands naturally while she is sleeping. However, despite rubbing her hands and moves little on the stage almost elegantly at first, her movements get more and more violent. This suggests that she feels to be indifferent towards the crime committed. In contrast, in the second film, Judi Dench rarely only uses a single repetitive wringing motion of her hands, often done subconsciously, which we know because she rarely looks at her hands during the scene, unlike in the first movie, where the actress is constantly scrutinizing her hands as she washes them. This is because of fear of blood that reminds her of her crime. The fear is also represented by tears as she looks at her hands. Small gesture that Judi Dench does mainly show fear on behalf of Lady Macbeth, whereas in the first film, she demonstrates greater insanity rather than fear. This difference might be due to the different styles of acting available in the live stage productions and TV dramas.
Blinking is another movement that also differentiates the two actings. If we look at the eye movements, Piper Laurie and Judi Dench both look at the empty surroundings in order to portray that they are sleepwalking and to indicate that what they're seeing are illusions. However, Piper Laurie blinks and shuts her eyes on purpose while acting, while Judi Dench is unblinking throughout the whole film. In this part of the speech, Piper Laurie closes her eyes for a short time.
Hell is murky.
She also closes her eyes when repeating oaths after stating this phrase.
What a sigh is there?
The closed eyes are powerful in these parts of the scene as they seem to show more sincerity of her feelings. Despite the mood swings that makes it hard to judge the extent of guilt Lady Macbeth feels, the lines that are said with eyes closed strongly highlight her delicacy. On the contrary, Judi Dench opens her eyes wide and almost never blinks while acting. Yet, she also succeeds in showing delicacy, as unblinking eyes attract our attention, while wide-open eyes seem to show fear and unease. It's important to note that Judi Dench was able to resist blinking, partly because she was acting in a TV drama, not in a stage performance like Piper Laurie. Unlike a stage performance where actors have to act the whole scene in one cue, TV drama are made up of short films. Therefore, it is possible to cut out parts of a film where the actress blinks. As resisting blinking is quite impossible on a stage performance, it might be more effective to use it as a tool to emphasize some parts. Thus, one can understand that the form of media can limit some strategical ways of acting. Another point to note is that Piper Laurie does not directly look at the video recorder, whereas Judi Dench does at the end of the film. The viewers who are stunned by uncovering the guilty conscience of Lady Macbeth feel even more surprised and alert when she walks towards the camera and stares at it.
What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
As it seems as if Lady Macbeth has realized the existence of the viewers, this part of the scene leaves a deep impression on the viewers. Therefore, the message that a crime cannot be undone no matter how regretful one feels is very strongly
The
conveyed.
last aspect is tones of voice. In the two films, both actresses clearly show Lady Macbeth's tormented conscience, but in different tones of voice. In the first film, Piper Laurie has a shrill voice to show Lady Macbeth's madness. Also, the abrupt changes in mood as she laughs and cries emphasizes the impression of insanity. Whereas in the second film, Judi Dench has a more serious tone as she shows grief in a dragging voice, so the impression of Lady Macbeth becomes someone who feels great remorse and emotional strain, but hasn't yet cracked completely into insanity. In the first film, when Piper Laurie appeared to wash the blood out from her hand, she said this speech. The distressed tone in this speech reveals her fragile side for the first time in this scene. While weeping loudly, she then repeats the word "oh," which is the word used to express a variety of emotion, which in this case is misery. In contrast, Judy Dench places several pauses in the speech to drag her voice in order to emphasize the speech and to convey the frustration and agony to a deeper extent. Also, Judy Dench replaces the oath with a long groan that ends up as a scream, which is very shocking and even terrifying. Judy then shows Lady Macbeth's womanly side of weakness and powerless. She deplores and suffers what she has done. Through to the end of the scene, when Lady Macbeth says, both films gives appearance of different characteristics of Lady Macbeth. In the first film, Piper Laurie speaks in a very light tone as if the suffering she feels is insubstantial. This reminds the readers of Lady Macbeth's manly and strong characteristics, while the mood swing also shows that she is suffering mental disorder. On the other hand, in the second film, Judi Dench presents Lady Macbeth, full of repentances, with a dragging and slightly hoarse voice. Therefore, through the tone of both films, we can see different ways of Lady Macbeth's fear acted out by two actresses.
Conclusion: Piper Laurie from the excerpt of the stage performance and Judi Dench from the excerpt of a TV drama use different tones and movements to characterize that vulnerableness Lady Macbeth shows in Act 5, Scene 1. By comparing these two films, one can learn different methods of acting to show vulnerableness while also understanding that the act is dependent on different media types. For example, in movies, because camera can close up, actors' performance can be both small and large movements. Actors on stage performance use larger gestures to make full use of the wide stage, and also small gestures are almost unnoticeable on stage performances. Regardless, how Lady Macbeth shows madness due to a tormented conscience in this scene is quite realistic and possible outcome of committing a serious crime. The essence in this scene, therefore, is in the teaching that one should act mainly in accordance of moral judgment, not solely of ambition.